morning, everybody, whether in the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. What's going on, my man?
I am here, and I made it through my soccer debut. Yesterday, we were playing soccer at the Philadelphia Union facility, and I will tell you that my body is not going to be happy with me tomorrow. Today, just sitting in certain positions for a little bit of time, hurts. And then I got like a good skinned knee, you know what I mean? Because you're playing on that AstroTurf. And, I've now understand a little bit better why, soccer cleats and football cleats are not the same.
Yeah.
Football cleats are so much heavier, so much more. They got a lot more padding in it. Like they protect your ankles better, but they are super heavy to be running around in. So instead of having, I had an extra 5 pounds to each foot, it seemed. That made things a little bit more challenging. But I made it through, and I had a great experience.
I mean, that's the key, right?
That's all that really matters, really. And we got some great footage that you'll be able to see at some point once I realize how much, I take out all the things that I looked like a fool doing. And that means there's going to be a whole 7 seconds left of footage that you'll be able to see.
But the blooper reel is 23 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly. But we did have some sports that happened along with me playing sports. It was let's start off. We've been talking about this for the last couple of days now. The Storm rain on the Liberty.
Get the dub. And it was a great game across the board, right? So it's not like there were mistakes by the Liberty or anything like that. It was the Storm were attacking the boards. They weren't turning the ball over. They were getting steals. Like they were doing all the things that they haven't been able to put together so far this season. And you saw a little bit of it on Tuesday when they played the Wings, right? Took them to overtime and ultimately came up a basket short. But there were a lot of things in that game where you're like, okay, we're seeing some growth here. Those things came together against the Liberty. Now, obviously Stewie wasn't in that game, so they weren't necessarily full strength. But they pretty much still have an all-star team even without her. So they can beat the Liberty can beat you even without Breanna Stewart out there on the floor. You had Jade coming back off of her injury. She puts up 18, which is a career or a season high for her. You had Flage have the best night of her career shooting, ending up with 28 points. Her last career high was 17. So she was playing out of her mind, going and getting offensive boards, which she doesn't generally do a ton of. So this was one where I think the frustration was good in the way that they're just like, hey, we are going to go and win this game. And down the stretch where we've seen a lot of these kind of slip away, they closed this game out. They had an answer every time the Liberty was starting to get a run. So it was a great game, top to bottom.
Got you. So, hey, listen, all streaks must come to an end. This one comes to an end with a good team, and it's something to be able to build off of.
Absolutely.
Now,
go ahead.
Real quickly, is Dominique Malanga on the Storm, or is she on the Liberty?
She's on the Storm. Yeah, Dom was a rookie for us last year, and she has really started to elevate her game this season. On Tuesday, she had 37 against the Wings. She still had a solid night tonight, not quite as impactful in the scoring department, but I think she was still double digits, right? But not 37 or anything. But yeah, we just have a lot of young players, right? So you have Dom, who is in her second year. You have Awa Pham, who's a rookie, who's playing great for us also. Flage, a rookie. Jade is, a vet, but I mean, there's just a lot of young talent on this team. And so you're going to have some of these issues as you go. Closing out games, a lot of times that's an experience thing, right? And they were failing to do some of that, a lot of that so far this season. And so for them to get one of these and then close it out is huge, right? As far as, just knowing that you can.
Well, maybe a stat that you did not know. Dominique Malonga is the youngest player in WNBA history to reach 500 career points. And also, did I see the youngest in league history to reach 200 career defensive rebounds?
Yep.
So, I mean, so she's 22 years old and she's, figuring it out, or not 22. She's actually, that was Johnson's 22. It's weird how they put that together. But like, hey, she's the youngest person to ever do this. She happens to play for the Storm. And, so again, things to build off of.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because I think she's 20.
Well, that would make her really young.
It absolutely does. So,
but like I said, if she's starting to score, like said, it was her second double-double in a row. So things are starting to turn around. Maybe.
Yeah,
we'll have to see the next game.
You're at least seeing progress. Like I think that's the biggest thing with this team is you're not necessarily going to see them flip a switch and then they're just going to go win a bunch of games like that. They're not there, right? They're still a very young team, but you're seeing the progress, right? They were going from getting blown out of some of these games by 20 and having entire quarters where they melt down. And then, basically the last 3 minutes of a game, they start to disappear. It almost looked like they were waiting for the inevitability of the game falling apart. And you're seeing that shift. And that's what's encouraging here is you're seeing these little moments become longer moments. And then, at some point you're going to end up with a game like last night where they put it all together. You have a complete game. And now it's, can you do that more than once? Right. So.
And would you say that there has been an elevated play across the league lately? It's like that they have been scoring about 100 points a game. Like they've been getting closer to 100, if not gone over 100.
There has been some of that. Also a player, I'm forgetting who it was because it happened during the game that I was watching. She scored 53. When you figure it's a 40-minute game, I mean, that's
Marina Mabry.
Yeah, there we go. Mabry. Incredible. I mean, if these games were as long as as an NBA game, she might have had 60 plus.
Yeah. So, and the fact that they scored, like I'm looking at the scores of yesterday's game, it was 125 to 97, 99 to 84, 99 to 88. I mean, so it's like these games, we're used to seeing these games like 74 to 65 type thing. Now it's like that they're scoring. That just means that the scoring is getting better. That actually the buckets are falling a lot more. That's the difference probably of about 30% shooting to 40% shooting even. I'm going, just off the top of my head and what I think that difference could be. It could be better than that even. But
so like for the Storm, as an example, their last two games from the field, they're over 50% shooting. And, from beyond the arc, against the Wings, I want to say it was like right at 45%. Last night, it wasn't quite as good. I think it was like 38%, 35%, something like that. But no, I mean, to your point, the buckets are starting to fall and, but it's good to see. Right. So Saturday, the Storm have Angel Reese and company, the Atlanta Dreamer coming to town. So that's going to be a great game. Atlanta is, balling out this year. So they're using Reese the way she should be used. That team is a really good team. So they are second in the league as far as wins.
There you go. Well, we'll get to see how they do. They got to keep it going. Obviously, they've had 2 good games in a row. That does not make a season, so you got to keep everything going. And it seems like the big thing, and what I've noticed here for the last 2 games when I take a look at the numbers is the points in the paint. They are
that is a huge thing.
That's the reason why they're shooting at 52%. Because they only shot 32% from the arc. So that means that they are either that doesn't show. I mean, they had 13 offensive rebounds, what really just makes for second chance points. That adds to that.
So that is a huge stat for them. Now, if you haven't been watching them, you're like, oh, cool. They got 13 offensive rebounds. If you've watched this through the season, that is about 12 more than they average during the game. So the fact that they were actually chasing down those misses is huge, because that's something they haven't been doing. So some of these things that you've been watching the evolution of, you're like, okay, finally, we're starting to get the, let's foul less. Let's, turn the ball over less. Let's get more of these rebounds, specifically offensive rebounds. And so you're starting to see some of those things kind of come together. And so that's where you're really encouraged. Like, even if this game would have slipped away and they lose by 2, like they did the game before, you could still see those areas of progress. And so it's helpful in the way that the players and the fans don't get completely discouraged, right? Because you're like, okay, we're seeing the growth. Like, eventually the tides will turn on that. And that shows in the attendance. I mean, last night, the game before was 14,000 in the building. Last night it was 12,000 in the building. So, I mean, they're not losing any fanfare, despite the fact that they were coming in with 3 wins.
Well, that's good. Like I said, the fact that they have the fan base still behind them and wanting to support them, and I got to imagine that feels very Seattle to me, anyways.
Seattle's a sports town. As much as people want to try and say we're not, Seattle's absolutely a sports town. Like, we like sports.
So, and that's why I say it's like, I think that the pendulum was always going to swing. And the fact that they lost 11 games in a row, you could see that maybe they played strong and they lost, and now they just won against a quality team. That could propel them to win 3 or 4 games in a row. Do I think it's going to be 11? No. But, again, it's a matter of just putting a couple of wins together and realizing, hey, now we are able, because you never know. I mean, you could rattle off, you put 2 or 3, and next thing you know, it's like 4 or 5, and
sure.
Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden the season changes.
Now that's going to be a tall task, going up against the Dream. And why I say that is it is going to be very hard for them to dominate the boards the way they did yesterday, because the Dream have multiple players that go after the boards. Reese, obviously everybody knows who she is, but they also drafted the rookie. I don't know why I'm blanking her name, but she is also great on the boards. So, they have 2 players that live for the rebound, and for a team that's struggled to get rebounds, that's probably going to be an area in this game that you got to watch close, because this game could absolutely get won or lost on the glass.
The good thing that you have going for you is the fact that the Dream play tonight as well. Yes. So they will be playing back-to-back games, and they got to travel, and it's under 24 hours. Like, they start their game tonight at 7:00 your time. The game on Saturday starts at 6:00 your time.
Yeah.
I guess so. You are catching them where, like, hey, they not only do they have to play, but then they got to get on a plane, they got to fly up there, they got to check into the hotel, they got to get themselves together, and within like an 18-hour time span, they're going to have to get from point A to point B and back on the court again.
Yep.
So sometimes the universe gives you somebody at the right time. You know what I mean? And it's possible
Sure.
if the Valkyries are a good team and they're going to possibly beat them up a little bit. It's going to be a more contentious game, which is going to make them a little bit more tired and they could walk in there saying, this is going to be an easy one, and it's not. So
absolutely.
That would tell me that there is a good chance that if you wanted to take the money line against the Storm, for the Storm, who is going to be a severe underdog in that game, you could do that
right here on Bet Us. Use the QR code on the screen. 125% of your first 3 deposits, 10% bet guarantee. Man, that would be an interesting one to throw some pizza money on, honestly. And maybe some of the prop bets in this would be would probably be a good one. Or does Dom end up with another double-double? Like, that would be a prop bet that, win or lose, you could hit on. So,
and I think I'm gonna make again something that I don't know enough about this, but I think because you have like Flau'jae Johnson is the rookie, right? She's the one that's
she's one of the rookies. Awa Pham is also a rookie.
Yeah, she gets her first double-double this game. She was one rebound short this past game, and going up against the me-bound queen. You know what I mean? I think she's going to ball out, crazy ball out.
That's right. If you have a problem, there are 1-800 numbers.
1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, no, it's that one would be interesting. I would bet the odds would make it interesting. I don't think she gets a double-double in this game. I think she's going to struggle to get to the basket the way she was able to against the Liberty, just because of the way that the Dream play defense. But it would be cool for her if she could, because her last, I think her last 4 or 5 games, she has contributed in a big way in different ways. So last night it was shooting, obviously, right? But when they were playing the Wings on Tuesday, she was, I forget if she led the league in assists or was, second in assists during that game. So, I mean, she's doing it in different ways each game. So she's really embracing I'm taking whatever the defense is giving me. If it means they're giving me shots, I'm taking the shots. If it means that I'm setting up a play for somebody else, that's what she's doing. So you're seeing amazing growth in that way for Flau'jae. She's playing much smarter basketball over the last 4 or 5 games, and that will pay dividends moving forward, right? So it's you're seeing this team really start to learn each other as the season goes, because they just haven't had a lot of practice time, right? Now nobody in the league has, right? But when you look at teams like the Liberty and the Aces and the Lynx, those are teams with a lot of veteran presence that played together, right? Like, they brought those teams back. So when you're looking at these teams that are basically all new people and new coaching, and I mean, obviously the lack of practicing matters.
Yes, it does. But like I said, we'll see. We're going to see here on Saturday. That's when the next time the Storm will be playing. And they welcome Angel Reese to the arena.
Yeah, no, it should be that should be a good one. It's funny, Angel Reese always gets so much hate, but she's actually a great interview. Like, she's like, she's good to talk to.
She talks. She actually says a little bit of her mind, and it's. I mean, that's what brought on all of this. I'm so glad that the whole, everything as it does, everything calms down eventually, and it's like, okay, it's not, it's not just the Angel Reese and
Clark,
Clark, show and stuff like that, and. I mean, Clark hasn't been doing very well at all this year. It's like you haven't heard much about her in any capacity. But you also have not heard much about Angel Reese either. I mean, she's just been doing her job really well. And, like I said, she's in the stat line, but she's not necessarily, doing things so well like that. She's like, oh, this is, oh my God, the next coming.
She is doing her job. They are using her exactly how she plays, right? Like they're using her strengths and it works. Amazing. Like, but speaking of Caitlin Clark, this is, I have a couple of clips. Now this is more to highlight some weird stuff about the officiating but it happened to her. So, so there we go. But this first one is funny because these texts are getting handed down in weird ways. Now, it wasn't unique to Caitlin Clark. Cameron Brink ended up with one of these as well. And it's happened around the league. But I showed this one first because then the next one becomes really wild. So here we go.
Up the Tech tonight, 5th of the season.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I got a technical for clapping. So, like, if we should all just go on the calendar now and pick a game that I'm going to be suspended for if I'm going to get technicals for clapping. I asked Gerda. Gerda said that I got a technical for clapping. So, if any technical should be taken away, it should be that one. If it's truly for clapping, that's what they said they gave it to me for was for clapping. So, it's just ridiculous. I don't understand it at all.
So, quite literally, they're getting technical fouls because, after a play, they either disagree with or, a foul went to somebody else, they're like, right. They're getting a tech for that this year, which is insane. Right. That makes no sense at all. So then we go into this one. Now, this first part, there was not a foul called on this play of any kind.
I mean, the fist in the throat is crazy. It's crazy. It's dangerous. The landing spot, when you went to review it, and she still comes down on top of another foot, like, I don't know. Because to me, that's like a do-over on a test. How do you screw it up again? You're coming in here aware of what happened 2 nights ago? And that still happens? Absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable.
So that fist to the throat, that did get a review yesterday, and a 1-game suspension was issued for it. Now, what's interesting is, obviously from that angle, you see the fist in the throat. What you don't see is her knee was also on Caitlin Clark in that motion. So it that ended up getting a post-game review by the league and a 1-game suspension, which rightfully so. Some people are saying that was too lenient, but at the same time, at least they did something, because in the game, they didn't even call a foul on that. So you can't do this. That's a tech. But knee on, fist in the throat, that's cool. I don't understand what the officiating's doing.
Messing it up is what it sounds like.
For real. Yeah. And of course, fortunately for us, as people that cover sports, where the players and the coaches can't say anything because they end up with massive fines, we can talk about how bad this officiating it is all day.
Well, so the whole fist to the throat, like that happened like why was they down on the ground and somebody doesn't see a punch being thrown? I mean, I guess I don't see the.
So they were falling down. Unfortunately, I don't have a longer clip of it for this morning, but so it was the way that the play was ending. You know, they fell down. She was falling on top of her, but that's a deliberate motion because you very easily could have just put your hands on the floor, right, to stop yourself from falling the rest of the way. So that's where they see the malintent there, right? And that's why she ends up with that post-game tech that ends up in a 1-game suspension. So yeah, Alyssa Thomas going to miss the next game. Some people think again that it was not enough, but at least it was something. And that was the thing in the moment, because Caitlin Clark ends up kind of tweaking her back after that play, which, you know, you got a knee to the groin and a fist in the throat. Like, the odds of you having something not great after that, it seems high.
Yeah, I would think so. It's, you know, ouch, ouch, you know,
Right.
ow. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm out. Give me a second. You know, I need to, you know, get some water or something, you know. But.
So, but in any event, yeah, there's something that needs to be reviewed with the WNBA officiating, and that's been true for a couple of years, right? Like the officiating has not been awesome. But then when you see stuff like this, where it's like clapping's a tech, and you're seeing those handed out all around the league, so that's not unique to Caitlin Clark. But then you end up with something like that, and there's no foul called in the moment at all. That seems crazy.
Right, especially when in the NBA they're stopping play to say, "Hey, we're checking to see if this was a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2." Like that could have, you know, probably at least should have been a flagrant 1.
Yeah, no question, right? Like, you should have gotten something out of that situation. And yeah, so and you can't say they didn't see it. You got 3 refs on the floor. Like, there's no way one of them didn't see that.
And the whole clapping thing, I don't get. Like, it's like, you're clapping to show up the ref, and because you're showing up the ref, this is like it's a butthurt technical. Is that what this is?
Honestly, yes, that's what that is. And it's funny because it's not even like you're clapping. Like, if you walked up to the ref and like clapped in their face, like, you know, okay, sure, right? You're being a jerk. I get it. They're just walking away from the play, like, and somehow that's getting you teed up. Like, I don't know. I don't have an answer for it. It seems ridiculous. And again, it wasn't unique to Caitlin Clark. Brink has gotten one. I think Paige has gotten one. So I mean, it seems like a waste of time. Like, that seems like making an issue out of a non-issue. But then you see hard fouls like that don't end up with a call at all. It's like, what are we even doing? You guys are worried about somebody clapping, but we can't get the other calls right?
Umpiring, refereeing, all this other stuff is just getting better and better.
It's like they're trying to be a focal point in the game as opposed to just officiating the game.
I understand. I mean, I get it, but
it's where we are. So, I mean, there's nothing like there apparently is nothing we can do about it because it's across all the sports. So it just seems to be where officiating is gone. That seems weird to me because the only reason you knew who some of the refs were growing up, like Ed Hockley, was because his arm was ripping his shirt. So, you know, it had nothing to, like, he was one of the better officiants in the game. And so you never heard about him in a negative way. You just always heard halfway through the broadcast at some point, they're like, yeah, this guy is, you know, 68 years old, ripping out of his shirt and sprinting faster than half the team.
And that was also exactly the same thing. There was the one guy, yeah, he was he was a referee of color, you know, but he would be like, you know, like, and just and he was also like, just like, definitely jacked. Like,
yeah,
exactly. He was going for Mr. Universe or whatever because he was just like, bam, and it was just like, whoa, that's somebody who's been working out a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that guy because I forget who it was, but a player like bumped into him during a play, and the player went down, and he didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Like that
I was like, oh man, this dude is a tank.
like we want to hire him. Like we need him as a linebacker
For real. Yeah, no, but that was the thing, right? Is it even if there was a missed call back then, it was so infrequent that you're just like, you missed the call like that. That's a bummer. Now you're like, hey, they got that one right.
Right.
Like, how did officiating slip so far that when you don't have bad calls, that's when you're finally you're noticing that instead of, oh man, that was a rough call. Like, how did they miss that one? Now you're like, hey, they didn't ruin this game today.
Yeah, they kept the whistle in their pockets. It's like, how about that? We didn't see a referee. Go figure.
And for those of you watching, see, we are equal opportunity haters. We don't like any officiating in any sport is really how this is breaking down.
Transitioning. Let's transition with that and still talk about somebody got into CB. I saw this video.
Oh, yeah?
I wanted to watch it like 18 times because, and the problem I have with the video, it's like, first off, they show how many calls CB's got wrong. Like now they've already used their taps. So they're out of taps now because he's already screwed up so many times, but you're
right.
Yeah, he got a couple right. So, but he's been horrible all day long. You could tell for both teams. So he's not just the one side. And the one manager, he finally he calls a really bad strike, and it's like way out, and he's like, "Come on, blah blah blah." And then CB throws the batter out.
Sure.
So then the manager comes out, and he's like a new manager and stuff like that. And he's telling CB, he's like, it's time for you to retire. You were nothing but crap all game long. Blah, blah. like literally, and CB is like, who are you? Who are you? You just got here. Like you're a brand new manager. Who are you to even tell me my job? You know what I mean? And he's like, it's time for you to retire because you are just screwing up the game and blah blah blah. And then as it ends, the guy is walking away, you have CB yelling at the manager still. He's like, you just got here. You just got here. You just got literally over and over again.
Crazy.
You watch him do it 6 more times, yelling at the manager as he's walking out of off the field.
Wow.
That's where I feel like that you have the bigger problem.
Well, yeah, because now he's going to be exacting revenge against you the rest of the game. Like if you're in his head like that, he's gonna purposely miss some calls.
Right. And not or the fact that you are now trying to instigate.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be instigating. You're supposed to diffuse. So when you are starting to instigate a problem, that's the bigger problem with the umpire now. Now you have the integrity of what you're supposed to do in the full extent is gone because you decided to get in your feelings because you had a manager talk something that really is true. Because the truth hurts, and you now know the truth hurts, and now you're you're trying to get back at him as he's already off the field. You know what I mean? That doesn't equate to me, and that is something that really should be looked at by the umpires, union or Major League Baseball. I mean, it's getting close now that they're going to have to do the same thing with CB that they did with Angel, and Angel's going to, and the reason why they're not is because Angel's got this suit saying, whatever. But
Angel also did it over a decade. He was bad for a long time. CB hasn't done that yet.
He's been about 6 years.
Yeah, he's been bad, but he hasn't been this bad until the last 2 years. Now he's just missing every call. Before he was just annoying, like he'd miss calls at bad times, and so that's how you knew who he was. But now you're just missing all the calls.
And he didn't touch first base. Did he touch
That
first
was-
base?
That was insane. Like he made that call without looking at first base. Like that was the biggest crazy part of it. You're just like, how you calling this guy out? Like you weren't even looking at that at the play.
Because he was going off of the actions of the player. He's like, "Oh, give me the ball, give me the ball." He didn't touch. Oh, so he didn't touch. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
ultimately. I mean, because you usually see umpires, you know, they just did that, and they're just like, he touched. Come on now, like I know for a fact he touched.
Exactly.
You know, it's rare that somebody goes past first base and doesn't touch.
Yeah,
So
if there's ever a base you don't miss, it's first base.
Right. I would rather get the call wrong the wrong way. You know what I mean? Be like, okay, he missed first base and I just missed it. You know what I mean? Because I assumed he hit first base and it was close enough. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's the thing, is you're still going to be close enough that you could make the argument like, hey, I thought I saw him hit, right? So if somebody challenged, you'd be like, oh, no, I mean, from my angle, I thought I saw him hit the bag, you know. But if you're like, he didn't, and his foot landed in the center of the plate, like it was like his whole foot was on it.
And that's the problem. That's that you're having when you have an umpire who is missing, you know, like when he's getting only 88% of the balls and strikes right, it's time to get him some glasses. That's where the joke came from. That you can't see, you having a problem, need some glasses back there, 3 blind mice, you know.
Hey, that'll get you kicked out of a stadium though if you're the organist.
It is
that is still one of my favorite clips that's floating around is them playing 3 blind mice, and he points up at the top and like, you're out of here.
He just got kicked out. The organist got kicked out.
One of the funniest sequences ever, because you know the broadcast didn't know what happened at first either. They're like, who did he throw out? Like, did they throw the manager out? And he's like, nope, that guy playing 3 blind mice. I don't want to hear any more noises up there.
There's no more organ today.
Yeah, that's right. funniest thing ever. So if you're watching and you haven't seen it, you know, just type in 3 blind mice tossed from game, and it'll pop up.
Umpire 3 blind mice.
Yep.
That's all you got to do. Umpire 3 blind mice, and it'll show up.
Yep. It is hilarious.
But since we're on baseball,
Mhm.
the Phillies did it again. I
Really?
tell you,
Another
it's
come
like,
from behind.
5 runs in the 9th inning and
Wow.
3 runs in the 7th inning. I mean, now I will say in the 7th inning to tie it back up, it was 5-2. They scored 2 runs in the 6th. So it's 5-0, 2 runs in the 6th. In the 7th, they scored 3 runs, but they walked the bases loaded and then walked 2 runs in.
Wow. That's rough.
Yeah, so they didn't walk the bases loaded. I think there was 2 men on, and then they had 3 walks in a row is what it came to.
Yeah.
So
Still, like that's a rough way to, you know.
yeah, to tie it up.
Go down,
So now
yeah.
you got, okay, here we go. It's 1 out, and you got 2 runs scored on walks. And so they score another run, they tie the game up, and then they score 5 runs in the 9th to win the game.
Crazy.
And it's, you know, 3 games in a row that they have 9th inning runs to be able to be like, all right, that's how we're going to win the game. I don't attribute this to the Phillies as much anymore. You know, the first time you do it's great. The second time you do it's okay. The third time you do it, it's pitching on the other side.
Oh, no question. Yeah.
That's where it becomes. It's like, okay, we need to get to this part of their bullpen because they don't have the pitching to do it.
Yeah.
And it's been fun to watch. It makes it exciting, kind of, but it's frustrating that, okay, so starting pitching's not, we're not hitting starting pitching that they can get all the way to the 6th inning before we start to make any type of we got to their bullpen. And once we get to their bullpen stunk enough to give up 10 runs.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of runs. I mean, and we scored a lot of runs. Like if you look over the last 3 games for the Phillies, it was all right. We scored 5 runs 2 days ago, and then 14 runs the game before that, and 8 of them were in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
So I mean, in the last,
it's funny because the Mariners are going the other direction. We were playing the Pirates, and they took the first game, and then the last 2 games of that series, they lose 11-1 and then 5-1. Getting outscored 16-2 is rough. Just no offensive production.
Or giving up 15 runs in the 9th inning.
No, that's insane.
Of a 4-game series, and I want to say that was only 3 games. Yeah, the 4th game they didn't score in the 9th inning, but yeah. That first game of the series they lost 4-1, and then proceeded to score 15 runs in the 9th inning in the last 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
And then the game before that against the Mets, the last time they had actually did that, they also tried to come back in the 9th and just they couldn't score enough runs. They had bases loaded and still they just got out of the inning before we were able to tie it. But that all being said, we are catching up. The Braves have not been playing as well and are having their 4-game losing streak. The Phillies have had a 3-game winning streak, and now we are within 4 games.
Yeah, no, you're getting close. You're getting close. And those Astros doing Astro things, starting slow, heating up. They're 7-3 in the last 10. Joe's got to be loving this. And they're just a game and a half back from the Mariners. And the Mariners' upcoming schedule is not, it's not a cakewalk. They start their road trip against Cleveland today. So, the Guardians are playing solid baseball. Now, they're not playing, they're 4-6 out of their last 10, but they're a good team. They win some games. So this isn't going to be like, hey, we're going to go beat up on a team and try and, solidify our lead in the division. We're playing a team that has a shot at the playoffs.
What's going on right now with them is that they are having similar problems as you guys are. Pitching's kind of there, the hitting's not.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to be these are going to be close games just because nobody's hitting.
No, exactly.
Boring games to watch because there's going to be 7 hits between 2 teams.
Pretty much. Yeah, like these could easily be a 3-1 kind of game.
That's a lot. Right?
But I figure one of them will leave the yard and there will probably be somebody that walked on base.
There you go. But as of right now, we're getting closer and closer to the All-Star break, which is going to be amazing because you're going to get firsthand coverage from me because it's in Philly. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get to see us. I'm going to do some reports, hopefully from All-Star Village.
Oh, nice.
And I'll have to give a quick shout out to Netflix because they're the ones having me come do all this stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I get to be part of the home run derby. I'm not going to be hitting in the home run derby. Let me make sure that we understand that properly.
Yeah.
But I will get to be a part of the home run derby, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that's going to really make for a great day.
Yeah, no, that'll be fun. That'll be fun, especially getting to be. So are you like media credentialed? Do you get to cruise around all over the place then?
I to be honest, I'm not 100% certain.
I got
it's like I said, it was odd that out of all the people that reach out to me, Netflix was the one that reached out. And I was like, why is Netflix reaching out? And then they're like, oh, it's on Netflix. So the home run derby is on Netflix this year.
That makes sense. Oh, I didn't realize that. Interesting.
So and the way things have been going, and like not only that though, but it's still the World Cup. Like,
yes.
I think that there's an opportunity or a chance, or I hope that they don't schedule it this way, that night for the home run derby could be a night that USA plays if they make it that far.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That'll hurt ratings for sure. Because people, if the US makes it that far, there's gonna be a lot of eyeballs going to watch Team USA.
Yeah, and that's going to be very, very tough to figure out. I know it might be the day before. I got to imagine that they are not going to interfere as much like that. So it could be like, oh, we're going to do it on Sunday and Monday and then Wednesday, which would make sense to me. Or actually Saturday, Sunday, and then Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because you want to have the 3 days in between. You don't want to play soccer and then 4 days later or 3 days later, you want to play soccer. You can't play back-to-back games.
Yeah. Yeah.
But speaking of the World Cup,
Yep.
USA loses in the very last second.
Yep.
Not that it mattered. I mean, it was obviously one of those situations where, they had definitely had the B squad in.
Yeah.
And at the time that Turkey scored the goal, they were only playing with 10 guys because the one guy got hurt. So, I mean, they were at a little bit of a disadvantage, but it was the last 2 minutes of the game. And I really hope that guy is okay because, I mean, he scored a goal in the game. He almost scored a second goal. And I think he's got a high ankle sprain. Hopefully that's what he's got. And, unfortunately, he may not be able to play anymore in this tournament. But,
yeah,
it's like hopefully it's not worse because it looked kind of funny,
I gotcha.
So it might. I looked to me like a high ankle sprain, and that would knock him out. Like I said, I hope it wasn't the way he landed on it was odd. And I don't want to know that it's any worse than that. And I didn't see the injury. So we had as we were covering the game, we had a little screen, so we had it on. But obviously you're more intently watching the game. You're actually there covering, and I think the one that seemed to turn this game was the second U.S. goal that got called back for offsides. Yep.
Right. Because they were going to go up 2-1 right there. They end up being offsides. That comes off the board. And then it was just a couple minutes later, Turkey puts it in the back of the net. And the game just felt different after that.
I agree. But they came back and they took, so that was in the first half. The second half, they came in and they scored right away.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
And if you look at that last goal by Turkey A, yeah, that's how you say it. I learned now it's like we're like Turkey A, yeah. That they were offsides on that as well.
Yeah,
they didn't call it because it didn't matter.
Yeah.
It was like this is sometimes I will say that sometimes FIFA does things for
a morale thing.
Reasons.
Like, hey, you know what? We thought you were going to be better than you showed out. Take this win. You're going home either way. Like,
right. Yeah, this is you now have pride against for your country. You beat the host nation. It's there was some of that going on, and who cares, because we are set for July 1st in the Bay Area, in the San Francisco Stadium or Santa Clara Stadium, whatever they're calling it. It's against Bosnia or Herzegovina.
Yep.
And right now the U.S. is favored in this. I think they were a minus 165.
No, but that makes sense. That makes sense. I feel like they should be able to win this game. I expect that game to be, minus the own goal. I think that game will look very similar to the Australia game. Like it's going to be a pretty good battle throughout.
I actually think it might even be more so like the Paraguay game.
Okay.
Just I kind of feel that they're going to be out. And Pulisic played for a few minutes. He played a little bit against Paraguay, but he came in with like the 59th minute or 60th minute, and he made an impact right away. But you could tell there was rust.
Yeah.
Like he missed 3 shots on goal that looked like all 3 could have gone in. And that was really that was great to see. Like, okay, our best player is now back, and he's got a little bit of his legs under him. He's going to be able to make a big difference in this game, in future games, and they're going to have to account for him, which means that they could, have to let other people out of their vision. And the U.S. has got a good team. Balogun, and Pulisic are going to be able to score some goals, I think.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
But there's going to be some interesting matchups in this first round of 32. I mean, they were talking about that if things fall a certain way, that we may see Spain against Argentina for the in the first round of the 32 as part of the knockout. Like, losing one of those guys, the more these great teams that are out in the first couple of rounds is going to be a big deal. And you got to be careful of these teams like the Cabo Verde and what you call it? These small islands and such like that. I mean, that have been doing the draws, Cote d'Ivoire and stuff like that. Like, these guys have made it. Now they're in the 32, and in some cases they've won. They've won their. So now it's like, you know what I mean? You guys got to go up against them, and these guys, it's already gravy.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure. They're already where they didn't think they would be.
So you're going to see some big upsets, and and it would be awesome. I feel like that would be great to watch Argentina and Spain go at it, because it doesn't matter who wins that game. The other team lost.
No, for sure.
And that's the bigger deal. It's just like, wow, like now you've got one of the main, teams, like one of the top 5 that are out. That leaves cracks in the armor. And Brazil, I mean, as much as I like Brazil, they have had their challenges in this, in this tournament.
For sure.
The only team, Portugal, same situation. I mean, it's like they've had flashes of brilliance with a lot of just, hey, we're having a hard time playing against some of these teams. So it makes me realize, or it makes me think, that these countries are a lot closer than we think. And after running around all day yesterday on a soccer pitch, I feel for them. I understand how close, you can tell the difference between somebody who is like, it just so happened that we had the coach on our team of the Union, and he doesn't like losing.
Sure.
Now, the first game that we went back and forth. It was a very close game, and we went to penalty kicks, and we lost, in extras on the penalty kicks.
Okay.
So, and it was like, okay, our second game, we were, the coach was not going to lose that game. They definitely had the much better team than we did.
Yeah.
Like, they were just so much better. But the coach was like, yeah, I'm going to score some goals here. And he scored the hat trick for us to
that's funny.
And I was playing defense, because I've learned that I don't run as well as I used to.
Sure.
And I don't have the stamina.
I just like that the coach was like, y'all are a liability. I'm going to go win this game.
Yeah, exactly. So, and but it was all a great time. It was a lot of fun, and nice. I like to thank you to the union for allowing me to go out there. And they gave me some fantastic, like, they not only did they give me a jersey saying Philly sports guy and like a windbreaker, they gave me this coat. I tell you, it is a sweet coat. It is like this, all the stuff that they gave me was amazing. And it's like, that's yes, that's what I'm talking about.
No, that's awesome. That is awesome.
So yeah, like I said, it was a great experience, and you'll get to see some of it on my Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, I don't know how much of it, because there's a lot of times where I just look like winded.
Exhausted. Yeah. No, that's fair.
And I do hope I did get one header. I did, and
Okay.
with the mohawk and everything.
Oh, that's funny.
So it was
Split
like
the ball in half.
yeah, it was like it hit like right here. So it would, if they got a video of it, it was like a perfect header. It was like the way you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And it would be a great shot. Like, that would be a great picture. But the ball right here, the mohawk would have split, like splitting it.
I mean, you have to imagine there's video somewhere.
Somewhere. Hopefully somebody got it. Because I know my team was like, we saw that. That was awesome. You look like you knew what you were doing about there.
It was 1 second in the game, but you know what?
And a second that meant nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it was a lot of fun. And I realized that I am 53 years old, and I need to get back into running shape if I'm going to try to run around a soccer field.
Yeah, soccer's a lot of running. There is no doubt. Like, it's you got to be some good cardio shape is what you need there.
So I ran 4,000 meters.
Yeah,
which is a lot for somebody who has not run 4,000 meters.
Yep.
And my top speed was 5.8 meters per second.
I thought you were going to say 5 miles an hour. It's like you were power walking.
No, it was a little faster than that, but it wasn't. It like, I think it was the equivalent of like 11 or 12.
I gotcha.
You know, and
yeah,
and I probably did that the first run. Like, hey, let me try to warm up.
Or you were
gassed. And then that was that. It was like, okay, now I'm done. I'm all spent after that.
Right on. That's cool that they were tracking all that. That's pretty great.
I got to wear the bra with the tracker.
Wow.
So and it was interesting to kind of be a part of that and like wear that. First, I realized that I'm bigger than I.
Yes,
exactly. It's I didn't think that I was as big. It's like I have to now I understand a little bit more.
And weirdly, that brings us to the top of the show. Thanks for hanging out. If you are listening on 97.3 ICU Radio, we do have some smooth jazz headed your way. And of course, if you're watching or listening on every other platform, be sure to like and subscribe. Otherwise, enjoy all the sports this weekend. There's a lot going on. What do you got going on this weekend? Anything fun?
I just keeping up with the countries and the World Cup, and I have to go do some stuff tomorrow for FIFA and Pennsylvania. We call Pennsylvania Day at the FIFA experience. So we're I'm going to be moving right along.
Right on. Of course, I got the NHL draft later today, and then of course Storm back in town tomorrow, and so it's going to be a weekend full of sports. So we'll have lots to talk about on Monday, and so we will see you all then. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Take it easy.
Peace.